For those of you that might be thinking, okay, scalability, kind of heard about it, but what does it really mean? Explain to me. I want to learn. So I'm going to give you ideas of scalability for a voice coach. There are things you can do that are available to you, and explain to you what is actually scaling in that idea. And when I get done with this list, you'll understand what scalability is. Okay. First, let's start with the one thing that's not scalable: your time. Trading an hour of my time for some pay it does have an element of scalability to it. It does, but it's the least effective version, and that would be the price you charge. The element on one-on-one lessons, trading time for a lesson that is scalable, is your price. I'll do it all day long if I'm making $1,000 an hour. But given that the market isn't going to pay that, it's the ability to scale. Trade my time, one-on-one time, 1 hour with one individual, is not a very good scalable model. So let's talk about some that are. Online courses. Probably the best form of scalability, where you take all of your ideas and methods and things about whatever it may be. We sort of run in a crowd of voice coaches, but it could be anything. It doesn't have to be voice coaches. Take your expertise and monetize your expertise and reach more people by capturing your lectures and your teachings on video inside an online course system. Online course systems, the scalability in an online course system is the distribution. You can reach so many people around the world. This is one way I have 100,000 students from 179 different countries. That'll perk you up and put a little kick in your step. Another one is butts and seats. Public speaking. Scalability is how many people you can get into the room. That's the thing that's scaling, right? If you can fill a room with 100 to 1,000 to 5,000 people, and they're all, paying a fee to see your lecture, then events, public speaking, is another form of scalability, which is available to voice coaches, do master classes. List building or getting leads. When I talk about lists, I mean that you have a website, there's a pop-up that comes in, people give you their email, their name, and in exchange you give them some sort of freemium offer. Maybe it's a top 10 things you need to know PDF or a free course or something, but you capture emails, and then you nurture those emails through email campaigns. That's old as the hills. We've all received them. But that's another form of scalability, by capturing internet traffic and nurturing your leads. The next form of scalability, which I think is the second best form of scalability, is affiliates and partners. When you have partners, you're duplicating the sales effort. So it's not just only you involved in sales and marketing, but you can duplicate that unlimited with affiliates and licensing deals. Next, when you can expand and duplicate yourself, you do that with team expansion. So you grow your team when you can. That's a hard thing to do. It takes capital to do that. But at some point, if you're doing these other things, which is what I've done, you will have the capital to expand your team, and then you sort of duplicate yourself in some ways. You can get a virtual assistant. How many voice coaches out there would love to have a virtual assistant, right? Implementation people, social media managers, all that sort of stuff. So that's a form of scalability, but it's difficult to get to because it requires capital. And online teaching. That's not so hard to get to. That's pretty easy to get to. Teaching on Zoom. So if you do Zoom calls, Zoom lessons, there's another element of scalability there. And that is, take one good guess. Okay, I'll tell you. It's the market. It's that when you do Zoom and Skype virtual lessons, you're now are available to teach lessons to a market called the planet Earth. Planet Earth, with 800 million English-speaking individuals, at least, on a planet called Earth. That's a pretty big market.